Good morning. I apologize for the shakiness. It's impromptu grouse hunt. We're a long ways from where we were the last time you watched us. We were in Alaska on Coyote Island, and now we're in Minnesota, getting ready to go on a little grouse hunt. Up in northern Minnesota, where I'm from, got my faithful buddy Sam Elliott with me. He goes with me everywhere. He's a Gordon setter. He's 4 years old. If my voice is a little crackly, I apologize. I've been really sick the last 4 or 5 days. First stomach flu and then head and chest cold. I've got a COVID test pending. But one thing's for certain, I can't just sit home and lay around and look out the window. I just can't do that. So I've been out and trying not to spread anything, so I've been out grouse hunting alone for the most part the last few days. I figure I can kick it just as well, being active and getting fresh air and getting good rest when I do go home, versus just laying around all day and being bored and depressed, you know. So that's sort of the way I roll. This morning, a shout out to a couple things. So my bear hunt video, my Kodak brown bear video, has been really successful. Not that I really think I'm going to get a ton of subscribers and so many views that I'm going to monetize anything, but it's just fun to share your life and your story and educate people and have friends that are interested. It's been almost all positive. I've had to get rid of a few trolls who just can't help but watch things that they hate and then complain and cry baby. Thanks everybody for watching that and for the comments. It's been really fun. That bear hunt video that I did last time I looked, it was over 30,000 views, which is crazy for me. And then my subscribers went up 8-fold. Sam's waiting patiently. He really wants to go grouse hunting. In fact, a little bit ago, we were driving in, and we spotted one off the road. We're driving forest roads, logging roads, up in northern Minnesota. We spotted one off the road and got out and walked up on it, and it was in a tree, and we flushed it out of the tree, and they're gone. I don't know if you've ever grouse hunted, but a grouse in a tree is gone faster than any game bird on earth. And I knew where he was, and I managed to get him before he got out of sight. I'll show you him here in a second. The sun's just coming up. It's 8:25. The birds have had a chance to get up and get their food for the day. First thing they do in the morning is get up in a popple tree or a birch tree or a hazel bush, maybe a willow tree, and they pick the buds and the catkins till their crop in their neck is plumb full. And then they'll usually fly down and waddle through the snow and get to a nice little brush pile and hunker down for the day. And so they've had a chance to do that, and now we're gonna go see if we can find them. We're in a spot last year where we came and we saw a lot of grouse, and as always we get some and we leave at least half of them for breeding stock. And wow, Sam, we're also coming back to I just remembered, we're coming back to the site of our trauma. I'm a psychologist, and so I think of things in terms of trauma. And we had a little traumatic experience here last year. Weirdest thing, you know, you run into coyotes occasionally. I would say there's always coyotes around when you're grouse hunting and pheasant hunting, but most any coyote would hear you coming and run away, right? You'd never know they were around. And occasionally I think you surprise them and they get confused about who's where, and one will run by you. more often than not, that happens in farm country. Like when I'm out in western Minnesota hunting with my buddies, a few times we've had coyotes or fox run by us and we shoot them. We always shoot them. But in this case, a coyote actually attacked Sam. We were grouse hunting just maybe a quarter mile from here, and we were in a place where there was really thick brush butting up against the pine tree plantation. And just out of the blue, I saw this coyote come running out of the bush. Runs right up to Sam. Sam was on the move grouse hunting. Had no clue this coyote was there. And they were in range. And the coyote snarled and tried to bite Sam on its way by and overran him. And Sam spun around and they faced off, and there was just enough separation where I could shoot the coyote. And you know, I don't know if it had rabies. I don't know if it was defending something. I've been hunting grouse since I was maybe 8 or 9. And so in over 4 decades of grouse hunting, I've never seen anything like that. This coyote was crazy aggressive. But one shot with a high base 6 lead at about maybe 20 yards, and that was that. I'll show you a picture of the coyote. I've got it somewhere, I'm sure. It's just from last year, so I'm sure it's still on my phone. Anyway, Sam, you stay. I'll show you my gun. I like to shoot with this, it's a Benelli Ultralight. It's really a light gun. It only weighs maybe 6 pounds. Nope, get back. And I'm gonna show you something though. You stay. Watch and see if he stays. He sometimes doesn't listen because he gets so excited. Hey, another thing, I want to give a shout out to the Wilderness Guy. He's my protege. I think he's 16, but he's been following me around hunting, fishing, and trapping for most of his life, and now he's really gotten so he's doing things on his own. He's about all things hunting, fishing, and trapping. He's making some YouTube videos, and the reason I thought of him, he asked me to give him a shout out, the Wilderness Guy. His name is Christian. But the reason I thought of him is because in this spot last year, right there in that brush pile, my dog Sam pointed a grouse, and the Wilderness Guy shot it. So go check him out. Right now he's really into deer hunting with his archery equipment, and he's into trapping and skinning and tanning hides and so forth. He's coming along great for the youth. Very proud of him. All right, so here's the kind of stuff we're hunting. Let me show you. I'll teach you a little bit about how I grouse hunt here in Minnesota. So at the county level, they clear cut and do timber harvesting and timber sales, and that's really good for things like grouse and woodcock and white-tailed deer and snowshoe hares. I just saw one here a minute ago across the road in front of me. I apologize for the shaking. I'm hand holding my phone, and that's just the way I shake. I shake all the time. It's like Parkinson's, but it's not. So here's an example of how we grouse hunt. We find a clear cut that's sometimes, like this one here, I think is about 5 years old. You can tell by looking at these aspens here that are pretty young. This is hazel bush right here, and these are hazel catkins, and the grouse love to eat them. And there's some young ironwood trees here that they love to get up in when they're a little bit older. They'll have like this. That's an ironwood tree. And they also have buds up at the top. And then, of course, the aspen and the birch, the willows and the alders, they love those buds. And then grouse do really good with where one habitat type meets another. And so if you look ahead here, right down this line, you can see over here is clear cut, and you can see maxed out, so I'm starting a new video. Anyway, I was showing you back this way. Get my arms going right here. Back this way is mature forest, and over this way is clear cut. And that's what the clear cut looks like. Everything's under 20 feet tall, and over here is mature forest. And I'm just going to walk that edge with the dog. And the birds will tend to hang right on that edge. I'm going to go right down that edge and walk it. And if there's any grouse in here, I'll know it. I'll see their tracks, or we'll flush them and get some shots. They were here last year, and we left a bunch behind. And so hopefully there's some more. There's another spot near here, maybe a mile away, that I'm going to walk after this. I drove that this morning when the sun was just coming up, and I saw lots of grouse tracks crossing the road. And so I know there's some grouse there. Here's the grouse that I got. It's the most delicious eating game bird that there is. And they're absolutely beautiful, the coloration on them. I just love them. The fan. I'll show you the fan here. Fan's really pretty. Like a Labrador, they come in phases. So there's the red phase and there's the gray phase. And this is a red phase. Really pretty fan. Oh, the limit's 5. We got 1. And we're going to try to go get as many as we can, up to 5, in the next few hours. And then after that, I got to go to work for the afternoon. So I'll catch up with you a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't have somebody following me today with a camera, so I'll just have to show you snippets as we go. All right, wish me luck. Well, look at this. Here's a spot where the otters are coming out of the water. You can see by the slides. They're coming out of the water here. There's their tracks going that way. That's open water right there. And here's their tracks going this way, and that's where they slide. They run and they slide. You can see them going on up ahead. There's at least 2 of them. You wouldn't see this stuff. I wouldn't see this stuff if I was at home laying on the couch saying, "Oh, I'm so sick with COVID." You know what? Here's another open spot. There is a couple big beaver dams out here, right there, and there's one down at the other end of the pond. But there's either a spring here, or there's a spot where the fur bearers are keeping it open. Boy, I've seen so many spots where I'd love to hang a coyote snare, or a bobcat snare, or a wolf snare. Man, I've just seen so many tracks. Sam and I have checked out 2 really good areas where we saw so many grouse last year, and we're just a little late. They were here. There's tracks, but they're old. About a week ago, we got 7 inches of snow, and the grouse were here somewhere along the line, because I'm finding old tracks. When I find some fresh tracks, I'll show them to you. But yeah, we're headed back for the truck now, and we're gonna go try a different area, because the grouse are around here, but we're just not finding them. So We'll go try a different spot. Sammy, hey, come on, let's go. Let's go to the truck. I'm going to be lazy and drive my truck along this road and just show you what the grouse tracks look like. I cruise the forest roads and look for spots where the grouse are crossing. And then I know they're probably within maybe 10 acres of there. And I get out and look for them. Yesterday was a warm, sunny day, like in the 40s, so a lot of the grouse tracks melted and they don't look fresh at all. But that's what they look like. Cruise along here and I'll show you how many times they've been crossing the road along here. There's a bunch of them working this area. There's a spot where one went and jumped up on the bank there. There's a spot down here a little further where several of them crossed. There's a spot right there where one went up. They kind of waddle and push through the snow. Once it crusts, they can run on top of it, but right now it's kind of fluffy snow yet on top. So rabbit tracks there. There's a grouse track. There's another grouse track. There's another grouse track. So there's where 3 of them crossed. And this is clear cut. It's probably 5, 6, 7-year-old clear cut. So that's, you know, aspen regeneration and lots of deadfalls and down trees and stuff. They love that stuff. There's all kinds of tracks along this road. Lots of predators, coyote, fox, wolf, bobcat. That's all mouse right there. So yeah, get to see what it looks like. I'm gonna walk this, just not today. I'm waiting for another day to go with a friend, and we'll have a better chance of getting birds. It's so thick in there that half the time you just can't get a shot. So, Sammy, let's go find another spot, huh? What do you think? One thing you can't overlook is a sunny bank. You always got to watch for these sunny banks. Huh, Sam? We just got a couple grouse here. We got some good ingredients here. Got some oak trees, got a sunny bank, some gravel. They need to have gravel for their crops. These guys are probably just here getting some gravel. Over here we got clear cut. So edge. And I just happened to be cruising along this forest road and saw these grouse on this bank off to the side here, and I pursued them into the brush and flushed 3 and got 2 of them. Pretty happy with that. Huh, Sammers? Is that pretty good? Yeah, that's good. He still wants to get more. Here we go. Yeah, Sammers. Stay there, buddy. Just driving along. Driving along on this old logging road. And whoop, I look off to the side. Stay, Sam. Look off to the side in this really thick brush. I saw a grouse running away. Loaded up my gun, got out, and let Sam go. He has this, birds will often hunker down when they see a bird dog coming. Like, I think it's a natural response. They think they can just hunker down and hide. And they probably do that for coyotes and foxes and so forth. And so he'll point them and they hold still. Nope, stay. The other thing is he'll run around them and hook them and flush them out toward me, and that's just what he did. So he ran into this brush and hooked 2 grouse and sent them across this way, across the opening, and they came out 1, 2, 3, and I was able to dump 2 of them, and that gives me my limit. Woohoo! Yeah.